welcome to the video, everybody. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the visual evolution of heroes from Overwatch 1 into Overwatch 2. If you guys watched us do the gameplay at BlizzCon, you actually probably realized that there were about 7 heroes that had totally new looks in the game, actually already in the game, beyond just the engine upgrades, because as we know, it's the same engine, it's just an upgraded engine. So today we're going to be taking a look at all 7 of those heroes, seeing what the big differences are, and also there's 2 more beyond that as well, and those 2 aren't technically in the game, they're not rendered into the game, but they do have their own new looks to them. So before we get started, don't forget to drop a thumbs up if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 56 likes on this video. That's our goal. That's our main goal. And also subscribe, because we're making a lot more of those for fun videos we did before. You guys really seem to like those. So we got a couple more of those coming down the pipeline. And if you don't know, we stream games all the time via the link down below in the description. So we'll be playing some more games tonight, probably some Overwatch and some other stuff too. But let's start off with Ginji. This is where we're going to start for today. So you can see on the left side, we have, this is Overwatch 1 Ginji. On the right side, we have Overwatch 2. The engine is upgraded. It's not a different engine, as we've already kind of figured out from what they said during the panels. But some of the obvious differences are things that are even smaller too. Like if you look on the hilt of the blade, on the original Ginji, it's kind of like a lighter green, and then it kind of gets burnt, like crispy on this one. The big thing you notice right off the bat is that Genji's wearing this hoodie. That's a really big one. And the hoodie, it actually is like a hoodie. It's not replacing his skin, because if you look at the way that it layers, it's like he's a little bit thicker. Like even right here, you can see, if you notice at the bottom left corner, you can see the what is that called? Like the sleeve of it kind of sticking out, like where it wouldn't otherwise. Then we have like the actual neck piece around it going on the top. The actual neck of Ginji itself is exactly the same, which makes me think that underneath this hoodie, he's exactly the same. Because if you look at the way his neck is, it's like, he hasn't changed that aspect of it. His head too, his head just looks a little bit less scuffed. Like the original one has like these marks on his face. The new one is a little bit more polished up and clean, a little bit different lighting. The sash in the back of his head is still there, but it's just, you know, just different angle between the 2 shots. And the hoodie itself is a hoodie. I mean, there's nothing to compare that to. But then we have the slash across his, or the sash across his chest, which I'm assuming, I forgot what's on the back. I think that's actually holding his things back there. If we take a look at his legs are actually different too. So one of the things they said during developer updates was that when they put the hoodie on him, they forgot to put pants on him. So he was just walking around with no pants on. So in the hands, pretty much everything, it seems like a lot of these new character designs are kind of this like darker version, for some of them at least. Genji's one of them. You see how it's like in the hands it becomes darker? That seems to be throughout a lot of them. Then he has the pants that look like also they're just going right on top of what he used to have, because right on the shin, it's about the same thickness. Then we have these like cleats or whatever he's wearing. Little green Adidas symbols. So that's Ginji. Those are some of the big differences. Obviously, you can just boil it down to pants, shirt. Some of the design changes, like the actual Ginji himself, I think is still under there, but some of the other heroes are not like that. So let's take a look at Lucio, for example. Like Lucio here, if we zoom into him, he's like really different. Like his hair is way darker, if you notice there. It's also different. It's like a different haircut. It looks like on the new one, he actually has the side of his head shaved. Like these last two like strands that he has are no longer there. They're just shaved off, looks like. And then the hair that he does have is way darker. And then we have the green like dreadlocks, which if you didn't watch the gameplay video we did, it's actually really cool, because those green dreadlocks change colors depending on if he's healing or if he's speeding up. So right now we could see that he is speeding up, and it's kind of cool, because if you're running, like if a Lucio is taxiing you somewhere, you can do a little Lucio taxi. You just look at his hair and you know like what he's doing without any other indication whatsoever. So his glasses seem a little bit more green. What else do we have? Like a lot of stuff has changed. Like he's way more covered up in general. If you look at his arms are totally covered up. His shoulders are totally covered up. His neck is covered up. They did take off those two, I don't know what those are called, but those two things on the side, like the, I don't know, backpack straps, I guess you could say. And beyond that, that's like the main differences. I mean, I guess probably the biggest difference is the headphones. The headphones now look like he's a streamer or something. He's got some, or like maybe like an air traffic, those guys in an airport that are like kind of signaling you down. Because his ear is not, both of his ears are straight up covered and they're green. So that's the top half of them. Let's take a look at the bottom half of them, see what some of the major changes are. So here we got, like, this is all different. Like, so instead of having these like tubes and stuff, like in the original design, he kind of comes around, they come around and just take all of that off and put these straps on the legs itself. There's also that little, what is that thing for his keys or something? I don't know what that's supposed to be for. Well, part of the design philosophy that they talked about during the panel is that, like, you should be able to recognize the character, like, in any form. Like, the example they use is, like, Batman. Like, even though there's, like, 1960s Batman, you can still look at him and be like, hey, that's Batman. And that's what they want you to be able to do with the Overwatch characters as well. They want you to be able to look at the Overwatch characters and be like, hey, that's Lucio. No matter how you tweak the minor stuff, he's still Lucio. And some of the minor stuff, too, is like, look, his ankles become green. Oh, this is one thing I noticed, too. This actually happens with Tracer. So you see on his shins how he's always had these kind of like wings, like sticking off. It seems like they're moving away from that, maybe, because they took that off. Like, this is Overwatch 2 Lucio you're looking at right now. This is Overwatch 1 Lucio. Overwatch 2, they took that off. They streamlined the legs, so it's just like kind of more straight on. So that's, if you guys notice any, by the way, if you're watching this as a VOD later on, we are actually live right now. So for anyone that's live, at the end of the stream, I'm going to go back through and read all the things that you guys, if I miss anything, write it in the comments. I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff because I'm just taking a first look at this. My first time looking at it real close. So here is Mercy. First thing, most obvious thing, she got a major haircut. She used to have it looks like always like a long hair with a ponytail in the back. Now she's got just haircut. That's it. I mean, it's supposed to show the progression of time, so it makes sense that everyone's going to be different. Like I said, there are 7 that are already in the game. In Overwatch 2, when I say the game, they're already changed. And if you want to see them in action, watch the gameplay video, because we actually did that. But when we were in the gameplay video, we didn't get a like super good look at it like this. So beyond that too, her halo is like this... I don't know. It goes like, instead of being like a halo, like here's Overwatch 1 Mercy. The halo makes sense because it kind of goes out in front. The Overwatch 2 one is kind of like a, I don't know. It's like a different orientation. Instead of being like on the x-axis, it's on the y-axis, I guess. That's pretty major. I don't think they really streamlined stuff with her as much as some of the other characters. In fact, her wings look a little bit like thicker. They're trying to keep the hitboxes exactly the same, so they're not trying to deviate too far. But there are some small differences. Even if they don't affect hitbox, they would definitely affect the shape of the character. So the whole chest is like way more busy. The original one is just like white, and then it has the gray on the sides. The new one has like all these gold things all over it, like gold lines and stuff, and a gold collar. Oh, I didn't even notice this before. So on her shoulder, she actually has... She used to have the symbol that we all know on her shoulder, and now it's just like a little plus. That is actually interesting. I didn't notice that before. The wings are different. The wings look more like dark metal now. I'm telling you, like a lot of this stuff is darker. Not her side. Her side is like the first thing that I noticed that's not. It's significantly lighter. But let's take a look at her legs right now. See how that is turning out. So, okay, I actually haven't taken a look at this. It's my first time seeing this one too. So originally, this is Overwatch 1 Mercy. She has like this single sash or whatever you want to call it coming down the middle. Now it's been split in 2 pieces. And the 3, I don't know what you call those things, but the 3 white things that come off, they flank off her hip, are a little bit shorter, and they're curved now, and they're no longer white anymore. Then we have the thing off the back. This is the main reason, if you're wondering why we're looking at all this, is because obviously I love Overwatch design. I'm sure a lot of you guys love Overwatch design. Even if it doesn't affect the gameplay as much as people think, to me, this is fascinating. I love seeing like the details and nuance and being able to talk about with you guys of how they've changed, especially since it sounds like they're going to be doing this to every character. Every character is going to have like a totally new thing. So the kneecap, by the way, before was simplified. Now it's a little bit more changed up. It's like there's more pieces to it now. I mean, there is an updated, greatly updated engine, as they've stated. So we're comparing kind of two different things, but it's still interesting to see this. The heels become white instead of black. And also, if you guys watched, we'll talk about it in a video, but also Tracer is one of the big ones that like, they actually show a lot of the stuff with Tracer. They went through like, I think they said 4 or 5 different major versions before they came to this one. So this is the original Tracer, as you guys all know and probably love. But like I said, they streamlined it down too. See how on her forearm she has like these big old pieces, these big chunks? Those are gone. No more of that. Now it's they're gone. Now it's more of this. So you can't see it here in this image as much, but like when I saw an image where it was like super zoomed in, and now you can actually see the like the freckles and stuff on her face. So before, if you get really close to Tracer, you couldn't tell that she has freckles. Here you have to get a little bit closer to see it than this. And she does have freckles, and you can see like the goggles don't have like that thick like snowboarder rim anymore. Now it's just the glass. It kind of reminds me of like Lucio. Like, see how Lucio always had that kind of like just glass to it? It's kind of similar to Tracer now with a little border on it. Her earrings are more compacted together. Hairstyle, like the actual way that the engine renders the hair is really cool. You can't tell as much from this. Before, it always looked a little bit plasticky. I mean, if you watch the 4 Fun videos I'm talking about where we show Overwatch people who know anything about it, that's one of the first things that they usually say is that it looks plasticky. I think that the new design everything definitely makes it look like more, I don't know if more realistic is the right word, but like, I guess you could say more realistic. It looks more like alive, I guess. So her sleeve folded up is still the same. This is kind of like, there's a lot of versions in between, and I'm kind of getting the versions confused. And I'm not going to show all the versions here. I just want to show you the first one and the final one. That's it. This is the first one, final one. Boom, that's it. So she kind of like took away those 2 little hooks on her shoulders and replaced them with like straps across. The chronal accelerator, I'm surprised they changed that. I didn't think they would, but the chronal accelerator itself is smaller. Like I'm right in the middle of it right here. It could be the angle, could be the design, or not design, but it could be the angle or the distance from the camera or something, the in-game camera. But it's definitely smaller, right? Or maybe it's just that like it's in a more closed state, because we do see it like move a lot. But I am surprised they changed the chronal accelerator. It's more wide now. It's not as narrow. The reason I say I'm surprised is because that's kind of like a story element. She has a little like brace around her neck now to support the chronal accelerator, and no more of the flight jacket. Or I mean, I guess you could consider this a flight jacket. It definitely looks different though. So let's take a look at downstairs for her and see what we got going on. So on Tracer, she had the words Tracer across her legs. She had kind of these like belt straps. Now, and then her shoes were kind of like burnt Crocs sort of. Now they're like more white, and they look like more like real tennis shoes almost. And the Tracer, I'm assuming that still says Tracer, it just says TRC, is going the opposite direction. No longer has those like, what would you call those? Those like the, what's it called in a corset? Like those strings or whatever. Like that thing is not on the side of her legs anymore. Now it's just straight up leggings, it looks like. And that's Tracer. So this is the one that probably people have seen the earliest. One of the coolest ones, I think. I love this one. This one is really cool. Reinhardt. So we're super zoomed into Reinhardt right now. I know we're probably missing a little of the top of his head, but I'll tell you, it's going to shave down, so it's okay. Reinhardt, check this out. I love this. Boom. There's that big old beard with the eye and everything. I'm not going to go through every single detail because a lot of it is kind of pulled off, but if you notice, he doesn't have this. I didn't notice this when I first saw it, but if you look on the far left, that extra piece, the part that hangs, it's like, see where the red is? To the left of the red. That is no longer there now. So that might affect silhouette a little bit, but that is no longer there. What's across the front? So now we actually have the emblem on his chest, not just that circle. The 08 is now changed to 09. If you look in the upper right corner, so right above the camera right there, boom, it's 09 now. So this is model 08, model 09. So it shows a numerical progression. And that's, I think they said that was based on Brigitte's like 9th version of armor for him. If you guys watch a Dragon short, you know, or not Dragon short, Dragon Slayer comic is what I meant. If you read that, or you watched where I read it to you, they you know that she's working on the armor for him and stuff. And then also he has like kind of these like straps on there as well. And I'm assuming like the tubing is missing too. I do like seeing his face. I think that's really cool. The only thing you're missing is like the little ponytail on top, but you guys have seen this image a million times. I'm sure you guys know what that looks like. Let's take a look at down below for him. So the bottom of him, we can see that the face on the wrist changes. So on the new one, it is actually yellow. Before, maybe you never noticed it, but it's actually red, that line. Same thing with a lot of the accents, like above his ankles were red. Now he's kind of more of like a yellow accent, yellow knuckles as well. And it's more curved back, that little flap between his legs. There's a more of like a light coming on top of his above his knees. And now instead of having one big spike on each foot, he has two little spikes, two smaller spikes. They're not little, they're just smaller than before. And let's see this. That's interesting. So the wrist actually adds a little bulk to it, just a little bit. I don't know. Let me know in the comments which of every type do you guys prefer the most. So we're almost done. We almost have all of them. So here's Winston. Winston, I feel, oops, I forgot to change this back to here. Winston, I feel like is probably the least, I don't know, probably the most similar, I would say. So you might not even be able to tell a difference, but the coloring, you know, the way they do the hair, maybe, I think the way they did hair in general must have changed with the engine. Do you guys know if they talked about that? Because I didn't catch that. But he doesn't have like those earmuffs anymore. Those are gone. Now he kind of has like this little, like, I don't know, like a little headset talking piece. The piece behind him is less yellow, more concave and rounded. He has a little light onto it. He has the Overwatch logo on his shoulder now. I mean, he's pretty similar. Before, originally, it said A60 on his back. Now it says A07. So let's take a look down below. See what we got going on for him down here. Yeah, you can see it. This little piece has like a little spinning circular, like a cylinder, I guess, in the middle of his chest, instead of the yellow piece that we're used to. The hands, I kind of like those original yellow lines. I think that was kind of a cool design. Those yellow lines are gone now. They don't have those anymore at all. It's just like straight up gloves now. And we still have that little yellow triangle thing, except now it's filled in. The actual gloves on his back, on his feet, are, I don't know, they're different. They're just like different. It looks like it's different material. Maybe it's just the engine that's rendering it differently. And that's pretty much Winston. I feel like he's the least different of all of them. I don't know. Which of the new designs do you guys like the most? I guess I would say probably, for me so far, it's Reinhardt. Probably second most is, I like Lucio. I just love the functionality of the hair. I think that's really cool. And then let's check out Mei. So Mei, as you guys may or may not know, get it, is different for Overwatch 2. Already in the game. If you want to see, we played as every single one of these heroes in the gameplay video at BlizzCon. So what's different about her? Can you tell which one is Overwatch 2 and which one's Overwatch 1? I think most of you guys probably can. This is Overwatch 1. She has the pin through her hair, the red dot on it, and a little, what is that word called? Charm? Are they called charms when it hangs off? I think it's called a charm. Then she still has glasses. The new one has like a different way of holding the hair, kind of more like a, I don't know what that's called either, but it's like something else to hold her hair back instead of the pin. Then instead of having the full fluffy neck, she actually has just a partial fluffy neck. It's kind of like when you go on a plane and you want to sleep in that little that little thing. That's what you got now. But look at the difference between the way they render the hair here in the original Overwatch and there. Something is definitely majorly different, you know. it's just like the whole way the hair is done. It kind of reminds me of like, if you guys watch a Diablo 4 panel, they talked about that a lot. They had a whole new hair engine. This is not a new engine. He's already said that, I know, but it's definitely improved. So in the original one, we had like that heart shape on her forearm. Now that's totally gone. She has these tubes leading up to the gloves with little knuckle pads on them. Snowball, almost exactly the same. It's a little thicker head, a little big brain on him. That's about it. She still has the straps. That's pretty much it for her. Let's just go down. I saved her for last because I didn't think she had as much different. So this is Overwatch 2, a little more streamlined. Overwatch 1, a little bit more going on. She has like the fur lining in the original Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2, it's all gone. All the fur lining is totally gone. In the original one, she had like little, I forgot what that was, like a water pack or something on her left side. Boom, it's gone. It's totally gone. She had fur coming out the boots in original Overwatch 1. Boom, no longer. It is all gone. Now she has like more tubing. And that's all the main characters that are already rendered into the game. But we have two more. We actually have two more here. And I'm going to show you guys these one at a time. So let me actually zoom out real quick. So what we'll show you guys right now is, you guys all know Torbjorn. Oops, I got to pull this up. You guys all know Torbjorn, right? And you all know Bastion. We actually have a way to look at the new Torbjorn and Bastion, which looks like this. So this is the new Torbjorn and Bastion, which I think is kind of awesome. So first thing you notice right away is Bastion has like a hat on his head now. Ganymede looks pretty much the same. And remember, these aren't rendered in the game yet, but I'm assuming they will be. Apparently when they sent out the recall, Torbjorn decided not to answer the call. Bastion is living with Torbjorn now. That's where they're currently at. You probably would have already figured that if you read the comic. Probably already makes sense to you. But what are the main changes? So Bastion has a little thing on his shoulder. It's like a yellow chunk right there. The hat is probably the biggest thing. I really hope they put that hat in the game. Torbjorn, look at him. He looks crazy. He looks like he's insane. He's got the little goggles on. He's been working hard on building armor. And he has more like thick metal knee pads. And let me actually pull this behind so I can see this a little more clearly. So the little pipes on the back, the exhaust pipes or whatever you decide to call them, they don't have like the slits in them anymore. Now it just opens up at the top. It looks a little bit more futuristic. His claw, just going off of this, it's obviously going to change when it goes into the game, but the claw itself is a little brighter. And the way the beard is a little bit different. I can't put my finger on it exactly what it is. I think it's because they segment the chunks a little bit more. And then he no longer has his welder's mask lifted up. So yeah, I know. I'm really fascinated by the design of Overwatch. I love the game. It's obviously one of my favorite games, clearly. And it's really cool to see so many totally like revamped designs all at once. But like I said, let me know in the comments which of them is your favorite. And let me look at the chat before we end today, just so I can see if you guys think I missed anything. Tell me which hero I missed a difference on, and I'll talk about it. If you guys are watching this later on as a VOD, thank you for watching. But if you're live, and if you're not there, drop a thumbs up right now on the stream. We'd really, really appreciate it if you want to see more stuff like this in the future. And if you don't know, we live stream pretty much every day at fb.gg/onickel. We would love to have you guys come through. Actually, I should go to him now that we're zoomed out. And yeah, we can play a lot of Red Dead too. So let me take a look at the chat. Let's see what the chat says real quick, everybody. How do I get this over? Chat, I got to pop you out. And then let's see. Chat is saying, I'm going to read from you guys right now. All right, chat says, Nickel, I dropped a thumbs up. Aw, thank you very much, man. Guys, please do drop a thumbs up. We're trying to get to 56 likes on the video. 56 likes on the video. All right, this is the kind of a Q&A time, or if you have any suggestions of stuff that I missed, right now is your last chance to tell me. Is Brig here? Not yet, not yet. I'm assuming they're going to put everything, but I don't know for sure. Lucio has thicker skates. You missed that, Nickel. I did? Okay, let's take a look at his skates. What else did I miss? Oops, take away that Bastion. He has thicker skates? Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, on top, the top of the foot is a little thicker. That's right. What else? Reaper is not currently rendered into the game yet. These are the only ones that are rendered into Overwatch 2 yet. You guys would know that if you guys watched the gameplay video where I played at BlizzCon, that's it. You already know that. Last one before we go, guys. Let's see if anyone else has anything to say. You dropped a thumbs up. Thank you for dropping a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. What are you streaming next? I'm assuming you mean for gameplay. Right now we're playing through like Red Dead Redemption right now. So if you guys want to come on through, the link is down below in the description. It's on fb.gg/onickel. Are the designs coming to Overwatch 1? It sounds like everything is coming to Overwatch 1 from the sounds of it, except for the actual PvE. As far as I can tell, it's all coming to Overwatch 1 except for the PvE itself, which is kind of crazy because that's a massive, massive, massive free update. Oh, you don't like how the hair looks? For which one? For all of them or for one of them? I missed Mercy. I didn't miss Mercy. I got it right here. All right, guys. I think that let's get one last one. Are we good? Are all the heroes getting reworks? We'll answer that as the last question. I don't know for sure, but I can't imagine why they wouldn't based on what they said. They want it to be kind of like an ever-evolving thing forever. You dropped a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Mercy Main, for doing that. Appreciate that thumbs up. All right. That was the last question. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to come over to the live streams, check it out in the link down below. And thank you guys so very much. Do you eat Lucio O's? Dude, didn't you watch our Overwatch food video? Type into Google Onickel Overwatch food and watch that video. You are really going to like it. It has Lucio O's and more in there. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Should be out tomorrow or later on tonight. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you guys. Actually, I'll be streaming. fb.gg/onickel. I'll see you guys over there. Bye, everybody.